Hello, my name's Scott Perry. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review. It's a kind of magic. Today we're talking about changing cards by Bob Swadling and also now Richard Young. So the TLDR on these, if you already know what they are, is that they are the best, the highest quality handmade card gimmicks on the market. There are a couple of other gimmicks that are equally well made, but they are not the same as these. The changing cards by Bob Swadling have a very unique, very interesting method to them. And the TLDR on this is if you are looking for a robust, long-term card, single card that changes, or also torn and restored. We'll get onto the different options that you get later. If you are looking for something like that, this is one of the best, if not the actual best version of a changing card on the market right now. That's the TLDR. They're a good quality. They are a good price considering they're all handmade by Richard. And there's more to this review, but the TLDR is if you are looking for this kind of thing, go out and buy it. You will not find a better quality gimmick. Let's move on to what is it? Well, changing cards were originally created and made by Bob Swadling. I actually remember back in I don't know, we're talking like 23 years ago, I went to Blackpool Convention and I bought these off of Bob Swadling. I bought a torn and restored card, I bought a changing card, and they lasted for years. So I remember the original versions of these that Bob was making, 2 decades ago. So the long and short of that story is that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the changing cards by Bob Swadling that are now made by Richard Young with the blessing of Bob Swadling. So Bob has taught all of his secrets to making these gimmicks to Richard so that he can make them with the standard that has always been with the changing cards. But to give a more precise answer, changing cards are handmade gimmicks of various changes. So you would be forgiven for thinking that these are flap cards. They are not. They are kind of similar, but they are not. They have a very unique mechanism. So you can get a few different types. There are changing cards which will change either the face or the back, or you can buy double blank so that you can customize the card itself. You get torn and restored cards, which I personally own a couple of those. I think they're one of the better versions. And you can get changing cards that have an entire routine with them as well. So the changing card product, there's a few to choose from. If you go to changingcards.com, you can have a look. But changing card gimmicks are simply handmade, handcrafted gimmicks for you to, for the most part, change one card into another kind of card, whether that be a color change or changing the back of a card or changing it from pieces so it's a torn and restored effect. So that is what changing cards are, and that's about all I have to say on what they are. That was a little bit long, so I do apologize. I got carried away thinking about the nostalgia of buying them directly from Bob. What do you receive? Well, with each purchase, you will receive one gimmick. It comes in this nice little packaging just here. You open it up, and let me see if I can show you. So it has an envelope with your gimmick in, and then underneath my hand, there's some printing that shows you a URL to watch the instructions. So that's what you receive. You receive a gimmick. Sometimes you receive something a little bit more, like there's a couple of little strips of double-sided stick tape and things like that. So I keep mine in this little carrying case that magicians are known to carry packet tricks in. And as well as the gimmicks, you also receive very, very high quality teaching, mostly by Richard Young himself, but there are some other people who turn up in the instructions as well. They are the highest studio quality in the magic industry. Everything Richard takes you over that you could possibly need to know about these cards. So that is what you receive, or what you get when you buy one of these changing cards. You receive the gimmick, maybe one or two little parts that are kind of refills, if you like. And then you also receive a link to the tutorial, which is on YouTube, I believe. They are private videos on YouTube, so I don't believe you can download them, but they will be there if you ever need to watch them again. And yeah, that is as a whole what you receive. How easy is it? Very easy. The torn and restored version requires a little bit of sleight of hand, nothing too complex. The changing cards themselves, you simply hold the card, throw it up in the air. I don't have one to show you right now because the changing card I have is double blank. So it wouldn't change to anything. It would just change from one blank card to another blank card. But it's simply throw it up in the air and catch it. That's how easy it is. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 5, how easy is it to perform? I would say the changing cards are a 1 out of 5 in terms of very easy, and the torn and restored is maybe 2 or 3 out of 5. You will need basic sleight of hand, and yeah, that pretty much covers how easy it is. It's pretty easy. Reset time is quite good for the cards that change color or change back or change face. The reset time is a second, 2 seconds. For the torn and restore card, you would probably need to take a minute or a couple of minutes to reset it realistically. So that would be something that you would want to keep for a specific performance, or if you're being paid to entertain somewhere, being hired, then you would probably want to save it for a particular table if you're entertaining the boss or something like that, a VIP guest that you want to leave an impression on. So yes, that is the reset time. The changing cards are very quick. The torn and restored card will need a couple of minutes in private, away from your audience. Angles are pretty good. Again, the changing card, you can do pretty much 360. You literally take the card and you throw it in the air. You can show it pretty much both sides before it changes, and then you throw it in the air, and then once you catch it, you can show it very cleanly both sides again. People can be behind you, in front of you, below you. The angles are extremely good for that. For the torn and restored version, you do need to be conscious of people on your sides and at your back. It is a little bit more angly, so we're looking at like 180 degrees in front of you, but nothing too crazy. The angles are pretty good for all of the changing cards. Pocket space, really good. It's just a playing card. Whether you have it in your pocket or whether you add it into a deck of cards or however you do it, pocket space is literally just like 2 or 3 playing cards together. Like the thickness, that's not how the gimmick's made, but the thickness of it is roughly that. And it's just a playing card. So yeah, pocket space is fantastic for the changing cards. My final thoughts on changing cards are, like I said in the TLDR, you will not find a better handmade gimmick. Some of Hondo's gimmicks are really good, equally good quality, but these I think will last you much longer. I have some of Hondo's flap cards. They did not last as long as these. That's why I've waited as long as I have to do a review of these. I've had these for quite a while since they released, over a year now, and they are still in fantastic condition. They're still activating. The gimmicks work seamlessly, just like when I first bought them, and I've been using them over the last year as well. So the build quality of these is just phenomenal. So they are quite expensive. They start at around £25 for a card, and then you can buy some that are a little bit more because they come with a routine, and then also you can get custom cards made for £40 each. So all of these details can be found on changingcards.com. There will be a link and some description in the description of this video below. So that is pretty much what I have to say. Like I say, some of the best, if not the best, playing card gimmicks on the market, and they've stood the test of time. Bob was selling them 20 years ago, and now Richard is selling them in 2022. You cannot go wrong with these. They are absolutely fantastic. That's the review for today. Changing Cards by Bob Swadling and Richard Young. If there's any questions that you have, leave them below. I'll try and get back to them as soon as possible. And yeah, I'll see you in the next review.